for
Exactly.
the first place title here at the Ignite Stage 1 in the Asia region. And also another thing to note that Reject just have so much experience in other titles. Like, so many of these players have played professionally before, albeit in different titles, so they know what it feels like to play at the highest level, know how it feels to play when you're ahead, play when you're behind, play when you're hot, play when you're cold. And these experiences definitely will help these newer players at ease, especially Finale, who has never experienced the professional stage until now. And if they're able to make it into if they're able to make it into that grand final, who knows?
I know, but Finale not playing in this professional setting before, I feel like that's cap because he's playing so phenomenally good, right? So, but okay, that's a great ban. The Captain America probably does not want it to be available to the opponent's rejects, whereas J-Mac has been really good on the Captain America. So right now, rejects, I would say Gargoyle, Finale, they're really scary, right? They're really scary when it comes to dealing damage. But Crazy Raccoon, they have their fair share. They have Hyan as well. So Hyan, Rebirth, that's also Vital. That's definitely one of those, battle of the duelists that we might be able to ensue here. And I'm already liking this, Dan.
Oh yeah.
A Hawkeye, a Jeff. I'm liking this already.
I feel like the Jeff is only going to be used for that extra little bit of movement speed coming out of the spawn gate. JT3 also obviously going to Penny Parker to get that bonus HP packets. Maybe with the Rocket Raccoon, we will see. We're going into Hell's Haven. We're actually seeing a bit of variety in this map number 1. I think we've covered every single map now. Yeah.
J-Mac has aura. Shouts to Blue Hades. Yeah, exactly. We've covered every single map, but this time we are going to see Crazy Raccoons 5,000 points onto prediction point. Oh no, I haven't voted. I haven't predicted. Help. But yes, even rejects at 2,500. We'll see who is going to come on top.
Yep. Keep in mind, winner of this match, winner of this best of 5. Moves on to the grand final, guaranteeing a second place finish. And we start now. Both teams making their way into this first map of 3 rounds potentially here in game number 1. And Hell's Haven is a map where there's a lot of map movement coming around, not only from the players, but from the map itself. These walls can move, pillars will form. And it's a matter of how both these teams operate around this terrain, as Vital operating a Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow for the win. Oh, careful. You have to be careful not to get sniped down. And that's the thing, right? Right click scope into a left click. That's going to, that's going to take up a lot of time.
Look at the combos though. Vital doing so much work now, just chipping down these vanguards as the rest of Crazy Raccoon slowly but surely whittling them down as Hyan opens things up with a first blood. Comes in hot as he's looking to find more, as Vital with the combo, with the anti-dive, is able to find more and more value as the ultimate just floods the choke point of Reject. And Crazy Raccoon with a very interesting adjustment, a very interesting Black Widow pickup, is finding so much value.
Yeah, but they haven't unlocked that first point yet, so they're still contesting. Winter Soldier to boot, but JT3 is gonna take out the frontliner group, and now it's gonna be a battle 5v6. But
still,
surely they're pushing it. Eternal Bond,
Eternal Bond might get shut down by the meteor, but it doesn't do enough damage. That healing is still going to be alive and well. No one quite yet securing the site. It has been an absolute slugfest. But it does seem like Crazy Raccoon finally will get some points in the end.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't have Mantis for access. Otherwise that damage boost would have helped the Widow. But Vital seems to be doing pretty good so far. Hyan from the high grounds just trying to flank a little bit, has the Dance of Butterfly available. And J-Mac with gonna jump down. He's like, hey, come on, let me go in.
He wants to go in, but Haiyan waits. Surely they wanted to go in at the same time, but they're gonna settle with one pick onto Gargoyle and let Reject regroup. For now, Vital holding on to the Plasma Burst. That extra vulnerable damage is going to be so valuable, and Vital is hiding. They don't know where he is, and there's the Plasma Burst, but Gargoyle is able to find J-Mac. Here we go. The Dance of the Butterfly is going to be used, but the Invincible Boundary is going to keep everyone healthy and well, as the rest of Reject need to find some percentage points, need to retake the site, as Piggy able to find an isolation pick onto Vital. Here comes the Meteor. Will it be blocked? No, it'll be whiffed instead, as the Fate of Both Worlds will be popped, as Reject have so many ultimates to work with, and they will use them one by one. Finale with the final judgment, Gargoyle with the Kraken impact, but J-Max Freedom Charge will keep everyone healthy, but Finale doing as much damage as he can, as Dobby and Finale will team up to find two. Finale will settle with one, but it's going to be enough for Reject to take the site.
Yeah, what a beautiful play, right? Vital finally gonna shift from Black Widow to the Hawkeye. Hopefully that's gonna help give them the edge that they need. But Finale's Punisher plus the Gargoyle, that's been really good at dealing damage onto the front lines, melting the shields of TT3 and J-Mac. So that's pretty good so far. Hopefully they'll be able to keep this momentum up. But the turret is going to be set up, hopefully just staving the advances of Crazy Raccoon.
Oh, here we go though. Here comes the clapback from Crazy Raccoon. The Dance of the Butterfly not going to find any sort of pick whatsoever. The screen, the vulnerability coming in is going to provide value, as Gargoyle finds one. Piggy will follow up with the second, and Reject look to hold, look to deny the push, and a double hook will keep the stagger going in favor of Reject, and that's going to buy so much time as Crazy Raccoon look to pick up the pieces.
Yeah. Against a Winter Soldier, right? Winter Soldier's uppercut is just so good against Vanguard tanks. The grappling hook as well, that's so good. But right now, seems like Reject slowly but surely retaining their position with a double Vanguard, double Duelist, double Strategist lineup. And it seems to be paying dividends so far.
Yeah, keep your eyes on these ultimates though. JT3 on Crazy Raccoon with the Meteor M, but on the other side, you got Dobby on the Eternal Bond. It's going to be up to JT3 if he's able to deny this Cloak and Dagger ultimate and allow a comeback potential for Crazy Raccoon. Gnome uses that Strangling Prison, as JT3 able to take out, snipe down Finale, the star of Reject, as Crazy Raccoon look to go for a comeback. The last stand into the Haiyan, cleaning up house. What a last stand coming in from J-Mac, and Haiyan is able to clean it up. And Crazy Raccoon, that is the exact comeback they needed. That was what they wanted, and Reject need to use this desperation portal. And here comes the push, here comes the onslaught. Haiyan getting spotted out, needs to run away to safety, as the rest of Reject need to find a way to stay on the site, as the ultimate meter is going to be popped. The Meteor will be used. Will that wipe out anyone? It looks like the answer is going to be no. It's the fight. It's the dance of Haiyan trying to do his best, but look at the feed lighting up as Reject come out in their own favor, but the Karmic Revival is going to keep the fight going for just a bit longer, as Reject need to find more opportunities. You need to find more picks at this Kraken impact. Is that going to be it? Is that the reason why Reject win this round number one? The answer is looking like a resounding yes, as Gargoyle, the stone cold killer, the monster of Reject, able to wipe out Crazy Raccoon in round number one.
Wow, Gargoyle making sure that the Winter Soldier worked in that game. And quite honestly, we haven't seen a lot of Winter Soldier games, but when we see them, it's definitely very, very impactful. What a turnaround, Rejects. For a moment, Rejects coming out strong. Crazy Raccoon coming back in that mid game, and finally Rejects to take it back. Crazy Raccoons to retaliate again, but finally Rejects just winning that one team fight, allowing them to capture the first half of the game. Wow.
Get
that
this.
was...
Get
I
this.
don't
That was
know.
only
This
round
is
number
so-
1. Get that.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, this is a
was only
best of
round
5. This may not be a sprint.
like it.
This is going to be a whole marathon. We've only seen sprints coming out from those first 2 matches, but this match is already looking to be an absolute slugfest, a whole marathon. And we only hope to keep this going as Sunghun using Jeff to keep everyone moving quick enough to try to get as much control of the map as possible.
Yeah, domination game, slugfest is definitely what we're looking for. Looking for the bloodbath coming in, but look at Finale on the Wolverine. It's like, yeah, let me just see who I can pick off from this position. He definitely wants to find that that's a tasty Magneto, but Magneto does have the shield to negate him, so I guess second best option, probably. Okay, going straight. Oh no, the kid doesn't work, unfortunately. But the swipe coming in, the last stand available to use. The Rage is already 100%. Let's see who's he gonna be able to use it from. The last stand coming in. Not gonna
Oh, Gargoyle though.
Yet, but
Yeah, Gargoyle was able to clean it up. Here we go, the trade of strategist ultimates, but everyone on Crazy Raccoon just fade away. But it's going to be an even trade somehow, as Crazy Raccoon look to get the advantage as Hyon able to find a quick little double. Will even get a triple, make it a quad actually, as Crazy Raccoon look to take over, but Reject still got a little bit of percentage points. We'll see if that'll matter in the end.
yeah, but this is why this is the grand finals. Sorry, not the grand finals. The battle of the grand finals. First finalist bracket is so important, right?
Wait.
J back taking up Finale, Wolverine on action, but Hyan from the side just sniping and be like, hey, you can see me. I'm just sniping from the side. Please ignore me. And slowly trying to build up the ultimate. 34% already, while Piggy, Dobby, Gargoyle, Gnome, 4 of them on rejects already has ultimates built up. But with this position, the high position, look at what's going on.
Great kidnap. Great kidnap onto Gnome. That's going to buy so much time, but Gnome is able to blink away, jump away to safety. That is crucial for Gnome to stay alive, but Finale takes out JT3, as this might be the first domino that falls in favor of Reject as they look to rip and tear their way into the site, into the point. Gnome does use the Eye of Agamotto and is able to take out 2. Gargoyle will clean up with 2 more, and Reject will retake.
Yeah, that retake is so important, right? Fortunately, the point is still not too far off. The progress is still only at 61%. Reject slowly taking point again, and it's partly thanks to the offensive power in the front lines, right? Now they realize that, okay, right, we don't really need a Punisher here. Just need a Winter Soldier, grapple, hook, uppercut, just to stagger the opposing Vanguard, right? And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that is...
But right now...
Here we go. There's the final judgment coming in with Rebirth on the Fate of Both Worlds, just keeping everyone alive. Vital gets dangerously low, but it's not going to be enough, as a trade of ultimates, a trade of eliminations is going to slowly come into Crazy Raccoon's favor. There were so many ultimates available on the side of Reject, but they're not able to find any sort of value out of any of them. And that just allows Crazy Raccoon to take control yet again.
What a comeback again. These 2 teams are just so good. Neck and neck. The battle, you can never expect who's going to win, but the portal coming in. Oh my god, it might be another huge team fight coming in. They just want to retake the point as fast as possible. Look, they've already dropped down, but now the Wolverine slashing, dicing his way through. Maybe trying to wait for a kidnap to happen, but the kidnap probably going to happen soon. But now, even in response, J-Mac as well, kidnapping. Eternal Bond also being employed on the battlefield. But
oh my goodness.
It's not going to kill everyone.
Yeah, no, Reject though. Only losing 1 member. They survived the barrage of ultimates. J-Mac trying to find a Wolverine ultimate of his own. The last stand not going to provide any sort of value, as Gnome is able to take him out. Vital has the final judgment yet again. When will he use it? When will he pop it? Now is a good time. No one on Reject have any impactful healing. No impactful ultimates available to them. Will that be Crazy Raccoon? Will this be their avenue of coming back? The Meteor Might buy a bit of time, but that final judgment is still alive and well. But Hyon is able to distract everyone of Reject as Crazy Raccoon clap back with round number 2.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna go the whole BO3 and of course the whole BO5, right? In between rounds, in between matches. Finally, the third one, Eldritch Monument. And this is one of those rare moments where we push until the third part of the map. But Crazy Raccoons versus Rejects. Between the two, Rejects does start off with 3 ultimates ready to use. So Rejects probably has a little bit of upper hand coming into here, I would say. But Crazy Raccoon showing how they are perfectly capable of coming back.
We sit here with bated breath as we await to
Crazy Raccoon
see
used everything, right?
as we await to see what Crazy Raccoon do against Reject. Reject having the advantage of ultimates. Taking a look at Crazy Raccoon, the only 2 that are closest is JT3 and Sunghun with about 62 and 63%. So it's going to be a question of, can Crazy Raccoon survive the onslaught of ultimates from Finale, Gargoyle, and Gnome? Or do Reject fumble the bag and allow Crazy Raccoon to take control? Only time will tell as we see both teams find each other on the point.
Yeah, but upper ground on the side of Crazy Raccoon, so that's already a good sign for CR. Right now it's
whoa! From the skies goes down Mocha, the Eye of Agamotto landing onto 3, and it provides the value. The 3 stunned are the 3 that go down on Crazy Raccoon, and Reject are able to keep it together, keep it cool, calm, and collected, and they will take control of the site.
Beautiful start by Rejects, right? Only utilizing 1 ultimate, which is the Eye of Agamotto by Gnome, and it was used to great value, right? Right now, the points are slowly moving in, but Crazy Raccoon slowly building their battery as well, slowly building the ultimate charge as well. Vital on the Punisher, trying to build some stacks. Probably needs to be very careful because they all know where his position is at. Probably needs a little bit of shield in front just to allow him to take aim a little bit better. But so far, a little bit slow.
Oh, here we go. There's the Eternal Bond, but there is no threatening meteor just yet to deny this healing coming out of the strategist, as Vital just blindly shooting into the invisible boundary. But the ultimate from Hyon should be able to pick up a triple, but Gargoyle is able to get the healing in time, but triple still coming in for Hyon, a quad for Hyon, and everyone on Reject are wiped away.
What a play! And recognizing, right, like the moment, because they were just shooting into the invisible boundary, and once the supportive ultimate was gone, Hyon knew that was his best chance, his best moment to just jump into the dance of the butterfly, take them out by surprise. No one was being healed. They were just getting picked off. Reject was getting picked off one by one. Look at Hyon flanking by the side right now, trying to build it up pretty fast, already at 30%.
Yep, just trying to land the shots and land a bit of damage, mainly to just charge up that dance of the butterfly like you've been saying. But Gargoyle, Piggy, and Dobie having ultimates to threaten. Here's JT3 with the meteor, but can it land the mark? It will, but it's on to Mocha as 2 trades come back in favor of Reject. It's a 2-for-2 trade so far as we continue the fight. The Fate of both worlds will fade away as Piggy doing what he can to find some sort of target to just wail at, as both teams doing their best to stay alive. But it looks like JT3 will be the first, will be the second eliminations in favor of Crazy Raccoon. But for now, as Reject look to group up again, JT3 staggers them even further, and so will the rest of Crazy Raccoon. But this timer, this percentage, slowly going into favor of Crazy Raccoon. As Reject need to find, Reject need to find a way here, and they need to find a way now.
Yeah, I mean, they're resorting to the thing now, right? So probably looking to offset the prowess of Wolverine. So that's already a good adjustment. But Crazy Raccoon also has Hela and the Psylocke on the offensive, so it's really hard to play right here. But they do have ultimate on the side of Gargoyle and Mocha. Overtime is gonna be triggered.
Here we go.
To start things off. Jung-hoon coming in to the fate of both Wolf and Mocha, who in response to the team fight, trying to keep everyone alive, higher, trying to do the left right click.
Oh my god, that's it! That might be it! That might be the game winning ultimate that is going to be used. The last stand onto 2. Gargoyle didn't have a chance to use the Kraken Impact, and everyone on Reject will fall, and Crazy Raccoon start off hot by winning game number 1.
Oh my goodness. Even Crazy Raccoon, even Gargoyle was like, yeah, Kraken Impact more instantly changed to Doctor Strange, probably wants to employ the portal, but ultimately the timer was just too far off gone. And there you have it, 1-0 CR. And that took the whole 3 rounds, actually.
Yeah, it took us to the distance here in game number 1. All 3 rounds were played. And the Crazy Raccoon come out with 2 of those 3 streets of Midtown.
Yeah, I love Midtown, man. This is such a good place to play around. And, you know, if there's a Loki here, that'll be great. But it's always bad. It's always, almost always banned. You can see it now, right? The ban is probably going to be the lock onto Magneto.
Yep.
And then that's probably going to be a ban onto Loki as well. The 4th ban is probably going to be Mantis. You know, rinse and repeat. Just follow this. Both teams are probably going to do the same thing. But honestly, this map is just so good for Captain America. It's good for Penny too, I guess. I don't know why I'm enforcing Penny, but Captain America dives. Spider-Man here is also pretty good. Magic here is also pretty good. If XOXO plays in this map, they'll definitely go with that. But it's CR versus Rejects. Hopefully we'll see some interesting compositions by both teams. And yes, I am looking forward to what they're going to back.
Whoa.
Save the Iron Man then.
An Iron Man save.
Ultra
That is spicy, but they're not gonna get spicy. They're just gonna keep it at a mild level. They will save the Luna Snow instead. And now the question really comes to what Crazy Raccoon decide to ban away. It might be that Captain America has been Reject's main way of getting that damage down. And it looks like it is going to be the Captain America banned away. So it really does nerf the dive composition potential coming out of Reject.
Yeah. I mean, dive composition, right? That's definitely something very annoying to your backlines. And that's why you don't have Loki, right? Because Loki just counters your backline dive so well. So I like it. They're banning the Captain America on the side of Rejects. Crazy Raccoon probably can use Captain America on their own, so that's good for JMac. Whereas right now, it's a similar save for both teams. Vital is going to go on Hela, so that's pretty good. Finale probably just there for the Rocket Raccoon and Penny boost up. But look, wait, is this really going to happen?
No way. Reject are on the defensive side. That is the side that they chose. This is Reject's map pick. There's no way. There's no way that magic actually comes through. But we will we will figure it out very quickly because when they're on the defensive side, they have to walk far from spawn. So if we see the magic picked up on the team roster, that is going to be one of the more spicier picks that we've seen on this map. And it's also another question mark of, yeah, it can work. But another question is, how do Rejects set up? A lot of teams really like to set up in that first floor building, that little lobby area right in front of the attacking spawn. And it's just going to be a matter of how do they do it. Yeah, it looks like they're going to do exactly just that. Finale on the Penny Parker. Just to zone everyone of Crazy Raccoon from accessing the site, accessing any progress on this convoy.
All right.
How long can Reject hold? That is the big question.
Well, they're holding pretty well so far with Piggy, with a triple Vanguard lineup. They're holding pretty well. Finale with the boot. Yeah, triple Vanguard so good here. And triple Vanguard, triple strategist.
Oh my god, yep, this is the counter.
So fast.
Yeah, this was the counter that I was talking about. The Strangling Prison into the hand of Khonshu Wombo combo. But unfortunately, that combo does not result in any eliminations. Not a single soul going down just yet. As the Ankh trying to do its work, trying to do its magic, trying to do its work. But can it do enough? Can it do enough damage? The CYA comes up here. So will the Eternal Bond. It is just going to be a matter of can Crazy Raccoon find the next cycle of the Hand of Khonshu Strangling Prison Wombo combo. We'll see about that as the fate of both worlds is going to buy a bit of time. And there is the Wombo yet again. And this time it is fruitful as Vital is able to find a double whiff. That Hand of Khonshu will proceed to go even further and will wipe out what is left of Reject.
Yeah, that's very smart. Yeah, that's very, very smart. Of Crazy Raccoon, because they know that if Reject commits to the triple Vanguard, triple strategist lineup, they know that all they have to do is just commit more towards having more damage, right? Just having those AoE damage coming in. But the portal coming in by Gnome.
Yeah, this is attempt 2. Finale. Usually most teams opt out of the Penny Parker, but with Gnome's Doctor Strange portal, it might be enough, but Finale gets absolutely wiped out. Vital still being that threat on this Moon Knight. But can they find any more value? The Eye of Agamotto not going to find the mark as another Wombo combo finishes off Reject as this group Moon Knight Wombo that we've seen so much in past seasons comes out huge yet again.
Yeah, I'm so happy to finally see Moon Knight being played right here, right now, in this combo wombo, right? And oh my goodness, maybe it's time to pick up that new skin after all.
Oh, maybe. This is good marketing. This is good marketing.
It is. Smart. Crazy Raccoon. Someone pick up Crazy Raccoon right now.
Yeah, and they keep on going as Hyon switches to the Human Torch, but gets absolutely focused down by Mocha as the CYA is furiously being taken out by Crazy Raccoon as they look to push towards that first site. Mocha respawns, but Reject need to wait for this Luna Snow to come back, but there is no impactful ultimates available on the side of Reject. The only one being that Dance of the Butterfly, but it's not going to find any sort of value. No one goes down. Everyone dangerously low as the ultimates slowly going into Reject's favor for the time being as the Eye of Agamotto stuns onto 3, but JT3 can only hold down the fort for so long as Crazy Raccoon start to fade away as Reject look to hold yet again.
Yeah, actually JT3 did an amazing job. But the crazy offensive Reject's defense, right? Not offensive, sorry. The crazy defense by Reject is finally going to push the clock all the way down to less than 10 seconds. And they have a little bit more to go. So then they're going to utilize... Oh, okay, no, else, but Hyan's going to be revived. Okay.
No, Hyon goes down. Finale's the only one being revived by the BRB as Finale just trying to do his best, but there is a threat of a meteor, but there is another threat of Finale. Keep in mind, this is the star player of Reject who was quiet in game number 1, but in game number 2, he is loud and clear. He wants to keep Crazy Raccoon from getting that first point. Mocha dances his way to victory, and so will the rest of Reject, and that's going to be a full utility dump, a full ability dump on the side of Reject just to deny Crazy Raccoon from going in as everyone on Reject just join forces to body block a teleport from keeping this fight from going any further.
Oh my god, Reject showing why they are one of the teams to be feared. And that's exactly what they showed. Stopping Crazy Raccoon's offense so close to their spawn, yet stopping them. That was just insane. And Rejects, this might be the game mode that they can look to come back from.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right? This is, I mean, it's like how many times, like look at Crazy Raccoons. The offense was just so good, but Rejects just coming back even stronger with by just it's such a solid defense, and the way that they adapted from just being a triple like from the common 2-2-2 composition changing to the 3-3 composition, and then just and the portal at the very end just to bring the fight back. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they pushed Crazy Raccoon off from advancing even further.
Yeah, some great plays coming in, but it needs to be better for Crazy Raccoon if they want to hold down the fort, if they want to go up 2-0, or can Reject force a guaranteed game 4. Only time will tell as the rest of Reject look to push this time around. Crazy Raccoon are positioning ahead in front of that first floor of the building, but they're going for a different approach instead. They're looking to position a little bit more aggressively, a little bit more in your face, to just keep this push from going any further. Finale switching over from the Psylocke to the Punisher, but JT3 is able to just snipe him away.
Okay, taking out Haiyan already. That's pretty good. But he does have the cocoon, so he'll be able to come back, revive himself.
Through the spawn!
Oh my god, they're pushing it back!
Through the spawn! Piggy wasn't able to get the healing in time to keep himself alive, and now the hold continues for Crazy Raccoon. Reject need to find a way, need to find an opportunity to come back into this fight as Gnome uses the clobbering and is able to wipe out too. Gargoyle as well, holding on to the Omega Hurricane, but the Eternal Bond will stall just a bit longer. The Karmic Revival again will be used to keep everyone alive, but Gnome is still able to find a pick onto J-Mac as he's able to punch his way to victory, as so many members of Reject are just wiping away Crazy Raccoon as Reject will begin to push.
Yeah, this is very hard for Crazy Raccoon to defend against, right? Because they knew exactly what Crazy Raccoon was trying to do. Their gamble paid off, so that's why they went all the way with this triple threat lineup just now, which is the Thing, so much defense, so much brawling potential from the front lines, and then the Storm, and then of course the Punisher. But now it looks like they're gonna come back with the portal, but will they be able to stop it?
It's only gonna stun to Gargoyle, who is one of the more important players on Reject. With that Omega Hurricane, it's chunked down even more as JT3's Meteor chunks down Gargoyle and takes out Finale. But Gargoyle now forced to use the Omega Hurricane, but it doesn't seem like it's doing a single point of damage. Any sort of opportunity that Crazy Raccoon are looking for is going in their favor for the time being. Players on Reject still forced to come back as the last stand will result in a double. J-Mac putting in the hurt, putting in the heat as Reject need to run back to their spawn yet again.
I know, and this is so hard. That ultimate was definitely a game changer, right? Now the last stand as well, just pushing them back. But they still have 1 minute left in order to defend, and Crazy Raccoon, they can still... Reject can... Oh, wait. Okay, sorry, Gargoyle. You'd be taken out of the action. And now, 5v6 coming in. The Wolverine slashing in, like bravely slashing in. And the Jeff heals from Reject.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Are we going to see a
insane.
Are we going to see a Sharknado? We might see a Sharknado.
Maybe.
Gargoyle slowly but surely moving up to the ultimate. There's Dobie's ultimate available. Piggy also having his as well. Where is it? We need to see a Sharknado for the first time here in Ignite Stage 1. Can Crazy Raccoon hold the fort? Can they hold? Here we go. Gargoyle going to use the Omega Hurricane. Dobie using his ultimate at the same time. This might be that Sharknado. There it is. Here we go. The Sharknado does its job, but doesn't quite get as much value as people would have thought. And that's going to be Crazy Raccoon just cleaning up house. The Karmic Rebirth, the Karmic Revival just denies any value coming out. Yeah, they're holding on. 7 seconds left. Crazy Raccoon looking to shock Reject into a 2-0 Victory, maybe, but the ultimate timer does come in. Final with the Eye of Agamotto. Not going to land onto anyone. Only going to land onto Gnome. Everyone going crazy as the stuns don't connect. The fate of both worlds. The Venn diagram of safety is going to expire. And now players go down, but it's going to be in favor of Reject. Hyon going to revive with the bubble, but it's not going to be enough, it seems, as Reject finally showing signs of life here in this game number 2.
Oh no, everyone's gone and Vital has no to win, and it seems like Reject might be taking this point. They need a Spider-Man now, ASAP. They need a Spider-Man ASAP to touch point. Or not, because this place... Oh, wait, there's a portal! I forgot!
Yep, Desperation Portal coming in from Crazy Raccoon. They want to end this map here and now. Keep your eyes on the ultimate meter. No one on Reject can afford to lose control of this site. Gnome locked in this area as everyone on Reject, they know the stakes. They know that if they make a single slip up, if they make a mistake, they will go down. But looks like Crazy Raccoon, they're doing it. They're holding with the Desperation Teleport. They want to end it. I said this. They want to end it right here, right now, and they will. Crazy Raccoon sweep away, and it will take a 2-0 lead.
What a play! Putting them up. Oh my god, that was absolutely insane. Bringing them all the way to the very last moment, and CR taking the second game. And you gotta wonder, Dan, like, it's not even a matter of C9. It's just that they were eliminated. Everyone was trying to touch the point, but they were taken out one by Team Crazy Raccoon. And Dan, there was one point, you remember? The Jeff Nado happening. There was 20 seconds on the timer. You gotta wonder, during that time, if Dobby actually waited for LAN. I don't know. I'm not sure. Please let us know what it is. But LAN, leave a note. Very creepy. God King Pylon. But obviously we know that LAN stands for Los Angeles Network. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
So Mellow Yellow, yeah, that's what I thought. It is a more American thing. It's another soda. It's just a citrusy soda. Right. So more similar towards like your usual Spray, your usual Starry.
I would love to try that.
Those. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, you gotta, it's an off-brand Sprite.
Yeah, that's probably that's a very accurate description actually.
We love it. But honestly, I haven't been to America before. I would love to be there. Yeah, especially New York City. I have some friends in New York City.
It's a big place here.
It is. It's a really big place. Yeah. I wanna visit Beyonce. I'm so sorry. I wanna visit
anyway, we've got the bands and locks, but so far it's been relatively what is expected so far. Albeit the only interesting thing is Reject really prioritizing that Punisher. They really want that extra damage to try to deny some of that value coming out of these strategist ultimates. And speaking of strategists, Crazy Raccoon will opt to save the Luna Snow for themselves.
The right heroes could make all the
save it for themselves while banning banning the opponent's Luna Snow. I think that's gonna be super huge because Luna Snow is just so good, right? With the heals and the damage amplification. But I guess Rejects doesn't really mind simply because they have a Magneto to deal with the fate of both worlds, right? So if Rebirth pops Fate of Both Worlds, rest assured, Piggy will be there to try and counter. So let's see, will this be Rejects' game where they come back from, or will Crazy Raccoons make a statement and eliminate another top seed with a 3-0 sweep?
If they're able to
find out.
If they're able to just 3-0 them, this is going to be a wild storyline to follow. Because at that point, if Crazy Raccoon make it to the grand final, they're gonna knock out both the top seeds, and they are guaranteed, most likely, to play one of the 2 top seeds in the grand final, either it be Gen G or Reject, one of them will make it on paper.
Let's go.
Unless there's a massive upset that happens down the lower bracket, which very well could happen. But on paper, it's probably going to be Crazy Raccoon in a rematch against one of those top seeds. But here we go as we reach the first point for both sides. Crazy Raccoon opting to go for a more elevated team composition. Vital going on to the Black Widow yet again. We've seen him operate this character in map number 1, but Crazy Raccoon have the high ground advantage for the time being. Finale opting to go with the Punisher that they wanted to keep for themselves. That was one of the saves that Reject opted to use, as Hyon doing so much damage as the Human Torch. But Reject aren't budging. They are not moving. They stand tall, stand immovable. But it's a matter of time as these ultimates slowly getting online and ready to go. Yeah, like you said, the Rage of Ultron going to take away Finale from the fight, as the Eternal Bond has to be used without Finale being there in the fight. But how long can Reject hold? They're still down a man, but down a man no longer, as Piggy is able to find a pick onto one of the strategists of Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah. I mean, oh my god, Vital.
Oh, Vital
right there trying, damage at the back lines. It's okay. But okay. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Crazy Raccoon, they like to experiment with certain characters, right? Especially Black Widow. And we know that Black Widow...
Oh, here we go.
Mantis, but now, I have Agamotto!
Oh, it didn't connect. It didn't connect. I think it was mainly focused onto Hyon, who was just up in the air, but somehow, some way, Hyon wasn't stunned by it. So I'm not really sure what really happened there, but it doesn't matter, as Finale is able to clean up one member of Crazy Raccoon, and Crazy Raccoon, in response, will quickly reset.
Yeah, that was crazy, right? Imagine playing a Doctor Strange, levitating to the sky and trying to nail a flyer with an Eye of Agamotto. I applaud that try. That was really good, right? Really risky, but good attempt. But right now, they gotta worry about Crazy Raccoon building up the ultimate, because Seung-hoon coming in.
Oh, whoa, wait! Someone goes down in the middle of his own Rage of Ultron. Now here comes the response coming in from Reject. That is a huge shutdown going in favor of Reject, but JT3 able to deny the Eternal Bond with the Meteor M. And now Finale, using the Final Judgment, should be able to get some sort of value, is able to find one, but Gargoyle is going to take out JT3 with the Omega Hurricane.
Oh my god, that was really crucial timing, right? Allowing Finale to have the time to come back and fight. Dobby as well coming in with the turret is going to be set up, and that's going to be less than 1 minute time left. Crazy Raccoon, they are unable to touch the point, even unable to unlock the point then.
Yeah, they didn't grab a single percentage point. None of it is saved. So if Reject are able to hold, it's going to be an easy map win in favor for them. But Crazy Raccoon, they still have a chance. They still have a good fight for them. They have 2 ultimates to work with. Fate of both worlds is available. Final Judgment is available as well. But on the flip side, Mocha and Piggy threatening their own ultimates, as Gnome has his coming up soon, as the Supernova and the Fate of both worlds will be popped, as Crazy Raccoon, this has to be their push. This has to be their chance. And it has to work out for them, but it looks like it's falling short, as Vital gonna get taken down first by the Meteor. Finale now popping that Final Judgment. Will he find one? JT3 does his best to hold down the fort. Quick flick onto this Wolverine that is trying to find some sort of value, but the invisible domain, the invisible boundary will seal the deal, and Crazy Raccoon cannot catch a break.
They cannot. They only captured 36.67%. That was a solid, crazy defense by Rejects, and it's really thanks to what the Punisher, thanks to Finale, thanks to Gargoyle, that we're dealing so much damage from the high grounds, right? And not to mention the turret, so much value, just pushing them back forward. Vital, on the other hand, it's so hard to push upwards because uphill. They probably should have went earlier on with a portal onto the back lines of Reject, trying to force the fight from behind, taking the upper ground. So I kind of wonder why they didn't do that. They were just stubbornly coming in from the front, right? Then
Yeah.
they were just persisting on that route, that one route.
Oh wow, yeah.
And then at the very last second, they persisted on the lane towards the left side coming up. But by then it was already too late because that was do or die.
Oh my goodness, this is a crazy, crazy series that we have been seeing so far, but we're not done yet. We still got at least 4 more minutes of this action remaining. Can Reject force a game number 4? Or does Crazy Raccoon somehow, some way, never get punished by not even getting a single point in this map? It's a matter of time as here comes the push. Here comes the first. Yeah, this is what they should have done on the side of Crazy Raccoon. They needed to find an adjustment. They needed to find different ways to attack the site. But for now, it does seem like Reject will kick things off with the high ground advantage as there is Vital waiting in the wings with that Hawkeye. Can he find the pick onto Mocha? Arrows whizzing by these strategists. Just not quite landing the mark as Piggy opens things up with a pick onto Vital. Finale opens up with the second, and it might be it. Blink and you miss it. Reject, showing signs of life, will not get shut out in the end, and it's going to be map 3 going over to Reject.
My goodness, Reject playing that to perfection. The solid iron defense. This might actually go the whole BO5 if they can play this. Could this be the beginning of a comeback for Rejects right here?
There's a world
so far.
Yeah, there's a world, there's a chance. But Reject need to be perfect from here on out if they want to complete the comeback, complete the reverse sweep here in the best of 5. But for now, great play coming in from Reject there. A little bit more that could have been done on the side of Crazy Raccoon. And that is the choice of Crazy Raccoon.
Crazy Raccoons, for sure. What's another 3 AM monster between friends? Leg Day Gaming. Peaking facts right there. Guys, listen to him.
So true.
Mikey, listen to him. Listen to him. Myra, listen to him. But right now, we got to lock in and look at the ban picks because it's going to be a mirror ban of sorts again.
This is the same, not only here in Asia, but also in many other of these regions. Most regions really following the same pattern of the Emma Frost being present first, and then followed up by the Magneto and then the Loki. So that first half of the bans have been relatively the same at the global scene here at Ignite Stage 1. You could even argue maybe the Mantis shows up from time to time in other regions, but here in the Asia region, that Mantis very, very prioritized, either being locked away, being saved away, or being banned away. And there is a little bit of an adjustment coming in from Crazy Raccoon as we see them ban away the Storm and save that Psylocke.
I think it's just a matter of preferential ban here, right? And the saves as well. They probably... Psylocke is probably just very good at flanking. We know how Crazy Raccoon is just so super good in domination map. Rejects is actually also good in this map. It's just that when they have a Psylocke available, it just makes it so much... Oh wait, what's going on? We're glitching into the multiverse, apparently. But wait, are we gonna see something different this time?
Whoa, hey, hello.
What's going on?
Not entirely sure what happened. We got thrown. We got thrown into us.
I know. It's okay. Things like this happen.
Yeah. Slight technical difficulties, but you know, we'll get through it like we usually do.
Yeah, we got replaced Visca, unfortunately, because a
lot of people freaking out. A lot of people are freaking out about the penny, but then again, You know how it is. You've seen all the matches before. It's probably just going to be used in spawn. Just get that extra 25 bonus health from the armor packets with the Rocket Raccoon. So yeah.
Just a little teaser. We love it.
Teaser. We did see it we did see it being played so far twice. Really, once on the Symbiote map and the other time on Midtown. So there is hope.
Didn't really work out on the Symbiote though. Almost.
It didn't work out in Symbiote, but it did work out in Midtown. So
it did. Blaze Raven, 16 right there.
He's having a field day right now. I can tell. Bro is definitely having a field day.
Penny enthusiast right there.
Oh yeah.
We don't talk about the map. Unfortunately, it did happen, but it's okay. We get to see. And hopefully we'll be able to get back to the matches soon. Just so that Myra, what's the name again? I almost forgot. Mikey gets to watch the game before they go to bed. But yeah, I mean, this is just, how do you put this? The map Burning T'Challa. We've seen Genji picked it up just now, right? They picked it up in the first game, and now it's also going to be picked as the best of 4 game. So obviously, the characters, the team that manages to get the position at the high ground, I think they're going to have a lot of advantage. And flankers, the 2-1-3 combo might be actually pretty good. 2-1-3 combo as in
it's possible.
Yeah, maybe the Flyers. Although this map, maybe Flyers would get swatted off by Hela, and Hela.
We saw that.
Nasty, right?
We did see that in that first or second matchup, actually, Genji versus Assemble Fire, where Brownie was just cooking, just absolutely cooking on that Hela. Thanks to the damage boost coming in from the Mantis as well, it's just have been very, very crazy to see. And that series was also a banger. Even though it was a shutout 3-0 in favor of Genji, it was still a very, very fun one to watch. An absolute treat. As we do have a question directed at us. What are our favorite characters to play?
All right. Why don't you start then?
It's gotta be Strange, man. That's all I've been. That was one of the main Vanguards that I've been playing. I think at least in my own friend group personally, I've been forced on the Vanguard role, so it's just like Magneto, Strange, but I really like Strange. He's so fun to play. Albeit I should probably play a little more, but then again, here we are.
Yeah.
Maybe after this tournament, maybe I'll be on stream just trying to grind my life away. I don't know. Will I sell my soul? But sell my soul I will do later, because we're in the action and we're straight away going in as both teams scrapping their way into the site.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is in there. Nowhere to be found, probably waiting for your appearance. Dan right there. But mission area is gonna be unlocked. Crazy Raccoon is on point, but you're gonna have 2 people from Rejects trying to stand on point, just trying to stop that point from being unlocked in favor of anyone. So not gonna be unlocked just yet. But Gargoyle gonna be taking out JT3 in the background. Hela just trying to retreat a little bit. Vital is going backwards.
Yeah, they need a retreat here.
Pushing them off.
Yeah, they need to find a way back. They don't want to afford to stagger any longer. Reject will start charging up that point. And now the question becomes, how will Crazy Raccoon come back into the site? They have both strategist ultimates available. Rebirth with the Eternal Bond, Seunghoon with the Invisible Boundary, sorry. But then you look on the flip side, Reject also having both of their strategist ultimates available as well. So we're most definitely going to see a trade. Finale almost gets shoved down, but Finale able to have the dash to get himself back on his feet. And on his feet he will, as he takes away Rebirth, and Gargoyle will want to do the same as Crazy Raccoon trying to stay alive as JT3 and J-Mac, the 2 Vanguards, team up and take out Reject, and Crazy Raccoon will not go quietly into the night.
My goodness, even Captain America was taken off commission. What a play by Crazy Raccoon. Pretty good. So right now what they have to do is they gotta take that high position. One of them needs to be below just to see where Rejects is planning to come from. And then they can engage from there. So it seems like they're gonna be coming in from the tunnel. And maybe that's where they got to set the perimeters. Coming in, it's J-Mac with a clean charge.
This choke point is very, very difficult to push through when you're on the side of Reject. They have to go through here as we do start going into a bit of a slow motion action shot as J-Mac with the Freedom Charge doing his best to do what he can as the Karmic Revival is going to provide so much value, but it's not going to result in any sort of result as J-Mac, the sole survivor of Reject's onslaught, forced to sprint away, leaving the enemy on his 6.
Yeah, it's already at 70%, right? Reject's doing pretty good. Has a meter M to work with if in case things go south. But it seems like J-Mac coming back in. None of them has the ultimate ready to use as the progress is still moving on. It's already at the 80% mark. Yeah, Piggy's just slowly descending and just making sure that they don't take up too much space and not move, advance as easily.
Hold on. Reject, they have the ultimate advantage right now. No one on Crazy Raccoon not having it just yet. There's the desperation. Eternal Bond, Seung-hoon, when will he use that invisible boundary? That's going to be the deciding factor here, but Dobby also has the fate of both worlds as well. Seung-hoon and Dobby should trade ultimates, but Dobby goes down! Dobby goes down! That's Crazy Raccoon taking over yet again as Reject hit the 99% mark, but Crazy Raccoon showing signs of life will still fight.
Yeah, it's already at 99%, but they're slowly coming back. And not to mention, Crazy Raccoon does have Vital with the Kraken Impact, Meteor M, Invisible Boundary, and Hyan's also working towards the Dance of the Butterfly. J-Mac also close to his ultimate Freedom Charge. Right now, they gotta make sure that they defend until the very last point, and if they force it overtime,
here we go.
Okay, dive to back
J-Mac.
line. Let's go.
J-Mac just trying to buy as much time as possible. Both Captain Americas using their Freedom Charge, but which one will be freed? Which one will take the round, free themselves of any stress, any worry? But Gargoyle opens things up with one of the Kraken impacts as JT3 is able to trade with the Meteor. Both teams still wailing away, fighting for their life, and Nally still needs to respawn. J-Mac goes down, and the feed lights up in favor of Reject as Reject take control of the site yet again. But what can Crazy Raccoon do? There we go. Another desperation portal. Will it result to any sort of comeback? Will it result to Crazy Raccoon taking control? Only time will tell. Gargoyle doesn't want that to happen as the rest of Reject look to clean up house and take round 1.
My God, Reject coming back strong in this game number 4. What a play. They were so decisive from the very beginning, right? They knew exactly what they needed to do. The Captain America just diving the backlines as always, and then Piggy, such a solid Magneto. And even JT3, and that's the problem, right? Because JT3, he's also a really good Magneto, but it's just the difference at the very end, where Dobby, where Mocha, where Finale, and not to mention Gargoyle. Gargoyle, this guy hooking Rebirth out of the Eternal Bond and just uppercutting him away. That's also a play that you don't really see a lot.
I only need one arm to take you out.
Ooh, okay. What are they doing?
We have a minute.
Asking?
We have a few
right.
seconds to collect ourselves before we answer the question of Crazy Raccoon. Will they be able to force a round number 3? They really need to, if they want to have a chance, a fighting chance of securing themselves a spot in the grand final. Or will Reject quite literally rip it out of their hands? They have a long road ahead still. They still need to win 2 more maps. And so far, they're halfway to winning that second one.
Yeah. The fight's gonna take place very, very soon. They're just making sure to grab the optimal positioning. But the
Here we
turret's doing so
go.
much. Oh, wait. Now that's with the butterfly. They got to group up, clump up. Hopefully, they'll be able to distribute.
Oh my gosh,
damage
wait,
evenly.
Gnome opens things up with a pick onto Crazy Raccoon. That might be that domino effect. Here we go. Crazy Raccoon losing control early as Vital almost takes out Gnome, but Gnome lives at the slimmest of margins, and Reject will look to hold.
Yeah, Finale also making quick work of 2 people from Crazy Raccoons, taking them out from behind, and that's it. Gnome as well, just trying to make sure that he scouts where they're coming from. The Wolverine, J-Mac, trying to kidnap someone, but unable to do so. They'll try and claw his way. Right now, the freeze is going to happen on the side. They're still holding on to this point very, very strongly.
Yeah, there we go
Holding
though.
on this round.
Rebirth will open things up with the Eternal Bond, a great kidnap onto Finale, who quickly dashes to safety, and Crazy Raccoon don't seem to look to have any sort of room, and they will be sent back to spawn yet again.
Eliminating everyone at the same time, right? Rejects is looking so strong in game number 4 here, and look, the point is already past the 50% mark. Reject also has 3 ultimates in the disposal. Crazy Raccoons, though, they've been switching here and there, but it doesn't seem like they found what they needed to do. And look, JT3, they're constantly putting the Vanguard of Crazy Raccoon in constant danger of dying.
Yeah, J-Mac just can't find any value with the kidnap. There's just immediate backup from Piggy with the bubble to keep Finale alive, who now has access to the Dance of the Butterfly Invisible Boundary, going to be used to shut down Vital. This Invisible Woman providing the invisibility, providing that fog of war from the Invisible Boundary just proves to be too much for Vital. And that final judgment will not judge anyone, as Reject look to shut out Crazy Raccoon here in round number 2, and we're going the distance. We go to 5.
My goodness, finally. This is the game where we can decide who's going to be the first finalist. But what an upper bracket finals we have right here. Looks like you guys are not going anywhere for the time being. You guys have to stick with us a little bit longer.
Just a little bit indeed, and Reject are looking to pull off what we haven't seen here in Ignite Stage 1, at least in the Asia region. We may see a reverse sweep. Reject finally collecting themselves, and they have clapped back with 2 maps of their own. Can they find a third? That is going to be the question here. They have all the both sides. The Emma Frost both sides will be banned away, and as customary as it is, both teams saving the Magneto.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing going on every. But yeah, Spider Islands. That's definitely they look to watching Spider Islands. Yeah, that's really nice to read. But coming in here, yeah, I was hoping for some Spider-Man plays here, but honestly, I don't see how that's going to fit into how they play things here.
Holding on to the Punisher, who has been a very, very threatening pick throughout the second half of this entire tournament, it seems. Because if you're able to coordinate with your team, that final judgment can be the difference maker between someone going down with a key ultimate or someone going down inside a key ultimate. So that Punisher pick is going to be so valuable. Whereas
for the side of Reject, yeah,
on the side of Reject, but looking on Crazy Raccoon, all they have is the Luna Snow and they do have access to the Punisher as well, but doesn't seem like they're gonna opt for it just yet. But only time will tell as we head into the map itself. Spider Islands. The deciding.
What is going on?
This is Hey, what you do wonder why Mantis is double banned, but here in the Asia region, that's normal for us. This is normal.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone is doing it. I mean, we've seen the potential of it. Shout out to Snake. who has been
Yeah,
an
Snoke,
absolute
insane.
demon on that Mantis. But yeah, it's definitely a more surprising thing if you don't keep track of the Asian scene here in Marvel Rivals Ignite. That's been one of the more normal things. I know in North America, I know in EMEA, that doesn't happen as often. But for now, we have to set our sights on the main attraction. The main fight between Crazy Raccoon and Reject. The deciding factor of grand final or bust.
I mean, it's just a matter of the value, the details that they have, right? We're going to talk about it a little bit later on. Mac right here, the Wolverine trying to
Ooh, he
see
lands
and
it.
kidnap someone. Oh, almost managed to kidnap someone, but gets pushed off. Hyan on the sidelines, trying to deal damage, flanking from the sides. But Gargoyle, quick to the action, trying to intercept the flanks coming in. And that's exactly what they need to do. Oh my god,
Vital!
so low! Vital,
No,
will he be able to catch it off? The right click's so strong.
yeah, right clicks are strong, but Gargoyle opens things up. First blood up the map here. JT3 going down. And that's going to be devastating if you're on the defensive side. Which means you're going to be down a man for just a few seconds longer as JT3 needs to sprint his way back to the site. Thankfully, Hyan is able to trade one back, so it's not as bad. And the push will be limited as Reject still trying to look to push a little bit further as Crazy Raccoon look to regroup as JT3 getting down dangerously low. Can't afford to get picked off because he is the sole vanguard here. Here we go. The fate of both worlds as Piggy tries to find a meteor onto a key target but doesn't quite land the mark. And now it does seem like Crazy Raccoon looking to take back the control that they had lost for a moment. But J-Max last stand doesn't result in anything, but here comes Gargoyle, will find two, but the Karmic Revival, everyone on Reject needs to find it, needs to find any sort of value, but they can't find it just yet as Crazy Raccoon are looking to hold on to a little bit of control they have left, but the invisible boundary on the other side of Reject is going to be enough to secure this first point.
What a play by Rejects. All gas, no brakes. Look at the Captain America go. Getting a double elims right there. Finale as well, cleaning up shop against J-Mac. Crazy Raccoons finds no answer for the advances of Reject. Reject showing that they are a force to be reckoned with, why they are the top seeds of the group. And now, slowly but surely, they're crawling their way back up, securing the second point already then.
Is this the end of the momentum that Crazy Raccoon seemingly had going into map number 3 just a moment ago? And now we reach the present. Reject on pace to just rob Crazy Raccoon of an easy sweep. But here is an adjustment. Rebirth onto the Hulk, but he is in all by himself. He is going to get taken out for sure. And Reject will look to push even farther.
Right now, this seems just like a desperation change for Crazy Raccoons because now they're thinking, okay, maybe we could work with a Hulk and Namor lineup. But honestly, yeah, oh my god, taking out Finale, JT3, that's the guy. But JT3 also suffering
wait
a lot
a
of
minute,
onslaught
they're
with the defense of the
stacking.
guy.
They're showing signs of life here finally in this map number 5. A great stun onto Dobby will set up an elimination. Vital adjusting to the Namor. Will find one thanks to the Hulk stunning Dobby up. But how do they adjust with the team up between the Hulk and Namor? Gets a laser gamma squid up and going as Hyan takes to the skies as he's able to find some high ground advantage. Both Psylocks peppering each other down. But it's not going to result in anything. It's going to be JT3 able to find the burst damage onto Finale. And Crazy Raccoon finally looking to hold, looking to find some ground here in Spider Islands.
Yeah, still holding on though. Almost passing that second point. Seunghoon definitely trying his best to keep his tanks alive. 5 ultimates against 5 ultimates. It's just a matter of time before they start off trading.
Yeah, here we go. That's going to open things up. There we go. But the Magneto ultimate not going to quite land the mark. As both sides just dumping their ultimates. But Vital opens up will find an elimination. Horn of Proteus is available, but doesn't deem now as a good opportunity to use it. They have the man advantage. There's the Dance of the Butterfly and the Invisible Boundary on the side of Reject, it seems, as they're trying their best, trying to do what they can to get any sort of opportunity. Horn of Proteus not going to be very valuable here, as Sunghun, his Fate of Both Worlds, going to expire soon, and that's going to signal Reject just absolutely running through Crazy Raccoon. And that second point is all but inevitable, it seems, unless there is a Desperation Portal. Will they use it? It doesn't seem likely, as Crazy Raccoon, they might look to concede, but there is time.
Yeah, I mean, they probably want to save up that ultimate.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's okay, Meteor.
Wait a minute, the Meteor, is it going to wipe out anyone? It doesn't seem like it, as J-Mac is able to find a pick up the finale. That might signal a good push coming in, a good defense coming in from Crazy Raccoon. We will see. Here we go. Gargoyle starts things off with the Kraken Impact, but can he find anything? It doesn't seem like it, as Piggy is able to wipe out two more! From the skies! Yes, from the skies, Piggy able to land that 3-point shot.
Oh my
as
God,
Reject look to take the second point. And now Crazy Raccoon at risk of losing that third point if they're not able to keep it together.
Yeah, Crazy Raccoon was just falling down like domino stacks, right? Falling one after the other, created a domino effect. One after the other just keeps falling down, and now all of a sudden they find themselves defending at the very last point. That's exactly what's going on. Finale at the side, also trying to just make sure that he keeps the enemy out at bay, but the Fate of Both World gonna be employed by Dobby, dealing with the Eternal Bonds by J-Mac as well. So far, no casualties on board, but we know that the real damage starts as soon as the utility ultimates are way gone. Hulk jumping in, Dance of the Butterfly, trying to take out the opponents, but both butterflies.
No, it's Piggy! Piggy is the one to open things up with this fight, as the Fate of Both Worlds going to be used. 12 seconds is the name of the game here for Crazy Raccoon to recollect themselves and find a way back in. Great shove back onto 2. And that's going to be Reject. That momentum does not stop here, will not stop, as the Hulk ultimate not going to do a damn thing. Here comes Gargoyle, has the reset. Will he use it? When will it go? There goes Gnome trying to buy a bit of time, but it looks like Gargoyle does not want to go any farther.
Yeah, he's just going to use it to go back to his initial position, right? Because right now, they are just a leeway back from just landing that 3-point. Hulk is going to try and stand on the point, but with 20 seconds on the timer, how can they sustain? They only have...
Ion.
Okay,
getting a lot of people in his face right now. Look at the timer, though. 13 seconds left. Crazy Raccoon just need to hold just a bit longer. Piggy will use the Meteor, but is not going to find the mark onto J-Mac, who is dashing away in the Eternal Bond. It's going to keep Crazy Raccoon alive, and this might be the defense that they needed. But the Fate of Both Worlds is going to be popped at the perfect moment, going to deny any more eliminations coming out from Hyun's Dance of the Butterfly. But Gargoyle going to still find more. Finale finds another. And it looks like Reject on pace to look for a third. Mocha even has the Invisible Boundary available, but it's not even needed, as Reject take 3. And now Crazy Raccoons, it's overtime or bust for them.
Yeah, what an amazing play by Rejects, just pushing through the entire 3, seemingly with ease as well. Whereas you see on the other side, that is Crazy Raccoon, you can see that they were struggling to find a foothold and finally resorting to having a Hulk and Namor team up in order to have those extra squids, those gamma squids to deal damage, but they couldn't find the answer. Finale was just crazy on the Psylocke. Gargoyle on the Winter Soldier, I believe Gargoyle is one of those few remaining Winter Soldier mains that's still utilizing him in this current meta, right? And it shows. It really, he played it to perfection. Not to mention the final hits definitely made a difference when they were pushing.
A very crucial thing to note, if you did not see the entire draft process for this map number 5, both teams do not have access to this Doctor Strange. So if you lose a fight in the dying seconds of a round, you are not going to have a way to bail yourself out with a desperation portal that we've been seeing in so many of these maps, so many of these series.
4, 3.
And it bailed out Crazy Raccoon in map number 2, but now in game number 5, both sides not having access to that portal. And that will affect a lot of things as both teams look to scrap it out what possibly could be the final round of this series.
Yeah, hopefully they will be able to push through. Then we'll go into an overtime. But right now, Vital, that right-click damage starting to kick in. Gonna take out Finale in the process. They're slowly pushing through, making the numbers advantage a game. And we know that the pushing the numbers advantage is definitely very viable in this comp. Captain America by Gnome trying to deal a little bit of chaos in the backlines, but Vital very quick to respond. And now Crazy Raccoon with the half
what a kidnap! J-Mech! If he wants to keep his team alive, he needs to do a lot more, and he is doing so much so far, and that's going to be a man advantage in favor of Crazy Raccoon as he wants to look for more, as Sung Hoon with the Rage of Ultron will find 2. The invisible boundary not landing the mark, not able to save anyone, and is able for Crazy Raccoon to just clean up house. Crazy Raccoon, they're looking good right now. They need overtime or else they are done. They are sent to the lower bracket.
Exactly. And not to mention that they did all of that without expanding their ultimates at all. So Crazy Raccoons, they still have 4 ultimates ready to use, and they push to the second point in a fashionably faster time. Look at Finale trying to deal damage at the back lines, but he has to be really careful though, because right now they have a lot of burst fire at the back lines that they could use to take out anyone who tries to dive into the back lines. Finale trying to close the distance, coming in, trying to aim the Luna Snow, but realizing that's not going to happen, just going to run away. But now Mocha taking out J-Mac. Unfortunately, J-Mac is going to die while he was using the last stand. Very unfortunate. But Seong Hoon with the left clicks, going to eliminate all the opponents behind. Even Finale went down, and seems like Crazy Raccoon has finally woken up, choosing violence right now, right here, right now, Dan.
Yep, right here, right now is the name of the game. Here we go. Right now seems it's Dobby's time to use the Fate of Both Worlds to just keep everyone alive. But the Meteor is going to shut down Gargoyle. But keep in mind, that is not the Luna Snow. So both teams will have their ultimates up for just a bit longer. But J-Mac wants to say something about it. As Crazy Raccoon look to get the push going. Mocha speeding his way back onto the site. But is it going to be enough as Gnome forced to sprint away, try to get himself out with the help of Mocha. He is able to prevent another stagger. But for now, Crazy Raccoon, they are looking good. They are pushing forward as the Rage of Ultron is going to force every one of Reject into cover.
Everyone's into cover, that's for sure. Pushing them back. It seems like Reject is just playing defense point, and with plenty of time on the side of Crazy Raccoon, they can just comfortably push forward. Whoa. Galactic's Legend coming in, taking out. Oh my god, it wasn't even him. It was actually wait. Crazy Raccoon.
That might have been a valuable Karmic Revival, but it looks like Finale was able to shut it down with relative ease. Here comes Gargoyle with the Kraken Impact, but he's not able to find any executes, so no resets for Gargoyle. But Crazy Raccoon, that push needs to be perfect. This push needs to keep going. You cannot stop. You have no time to lose. Yes, they have 2.5 minutes about in the tank, but they want to comfortably go into overtime with a significant time advantage. J-Mech just hiding on the site, just making sure this convoy doesn't go any backward, but Finale really wants it to go backwards as Vital using the right clicks, trying to do what he can, but it looks like another trade coming in. But it's still a dead even trade. Crazy Raccoon and Reject still duking it out, but Gargoyle and Piggy will skew the scales, will tip it into their favor as Crazy Raccoon, they are forced to back away, forced to regroup, but the Fate of Both Worlds will help with that regroup for the time being as Finale waiting in the wings, but he gets spotted out as 2 members of Crazy Raccoon just trying to go for Finale, but Finale is able to find one. Seunghoon now in a bit of trouble. Finale just chasing them down as Piggy finds 2 more, finds 3 more as Finale and Gnome finish up the job. And now things are going to get scary for Crazy Raccoon. A minute and a half remaining, and you only have maybe 1, maybe 2 good pushes remaining. And keep in mind, no Doctor Strange available.
Yeah, they gotta walk all the way back here, right? And that's gonna make the travel a bit longer. They gotta regroup. And, you know, this might actually be the potential last game that they have. Everyone has ultimate ready, but wait, J-Mac, the Freedom Charge coming in. Oh my god, the Galactic's Legend gonna be employed, but Meteor M by Piggy is gonna counter it out to JT3. Mocha with the invisible boundary. That's gonna help keep the team alive, but the kidnap happening. Oh no, Piggy taking out Vital as well. Hayan onto Finale already down. Gargoyle.
Oh my god, oh, what a shot!
After the Star-Lord!
He lands the mark, he lands the shot. And that's gonna stagger Reject. Or no, it's not gonna stagger Crazy Raccoon, I'm sorry. And is this the end? Is this the reverse sweep taking shape, manifesting in Reject's favor?
Gargoyle.
20 seconds will be the difference here as the last stand not going to find any sort of mark, but 2 go in favor of Crazy Raccoon. Make it 3 with the Rage of Ultron.
Oh,
and now it looks like Crazy Raccoon in the dying seconds of this round look to take control yet again. And Reject, they have no Strange Portal. They don't have that resource. Maybe, just maybe, they are able to tap onto the site. Reject are able to get the foot onto the zone. But it's now going to be
J-Mac,
a question of can they hold, can they stay? J-Mac switches to the Venom for that extra bit of mobility to just to stay in the fight. This is getting very, very close. This Meteor might be the deciding factor, but Gnome is able to find a pick onto Vital. Vital, not sure if he has the revival yet, but look on Crazy Raccoon. They don't have heals left. Vital is able to use the cover revival to keep everyone alive, but the Galactic Legend and Seunghoon able to team up and take everyone out. The Freedom Charge coming in from Reject, not gonna do a damn thing as Crazy Raccoon, by the skin of their teeth, add a minute and a half to their push.
My goodness. Rejects finally getting eliminated by Crazy Raccoons making a push. But now here comes the hard part, because this is actually much, much closer to the spawn of Rejects. And mind you, if they are able to stop just one little bit of distance on the side of Crazy Raccoon, that's going to be it. Reject's going to take it, so Crazy Raccoon needs to go all the way in. Gnome already making his way in, trying to disrupt the back line, but he's very, very dangerously low. Probably needs to get healed quickly by his teammate, and then running back in. The
Here we
fearless
go.
Dynamic Strike.
It's overtime or bust for Crazy Raccoon. This push needs to be absolutely perfect. Galactic Legend going to be used by Gargoyle just to zone every one of Crazy Raccoon into the spawn area as ultimates being pushed out left and right and center of everyone's screens. As Reject, they just have to hold for 30 or so seconds. That's all they need. That's all they have to do if they want to punch their ticket to the grand final. As Finale wants to be the difference maker, is going to find damage, but not quite the knockouts that he needs. And he finds an isolation onto Rebirth. This is an important 1v1, but the Galactic Legend is going to be used by Hayan. It's going to take out Gargoyle. Gargoyle will be down. And it's going to be a man advantage for Crazy Raccoon for just a bit longer as Hayan not quite able to find it. But Seunghoon finds it onto Finale. No way for Domi to save Finale. So close to the Fate of Both Worlds zone, but it just wasn't able to find it as Piggy will go down to J-Mac. As JT3 will find more. And Crazy Raccoon, they're doing it. They're pushing. They need to stay. This zone is so constrained for them. My voice is constrained. I can't talk anymore. As Reject Can they do it? I don't think so. They get the foot into the site, but can they prevent an overtime situation? Karmic Revival is available onto Vital. He might be able to use it, but he's going to get focused down by Gnome. Does have the cocoon, but can he get the revival in time? Look at the meter. That is all eyes on both of these teams. Crazy Raccoon, it's overtime or bust, but the Karmic Revival is going to revive everyone. The fate of both worlds, it's going to keep everyone alive. This fight is absolutely insane. The stun's coming out, but no damage done. Galactic Legend even going to be dumped. Everyone doing their absolute best. Everyone at their absolute limit, but Crazy Raccoon, the feed lights up in their favor. Gnome, the last remaining member on the site. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. Crazy Raccoon, in a miraculous moment, will force OT.
3.
Yeah, in spectacular fashion as well. Knocking on the front door of Rejects. That's Crazy Raccoon. And now they are going to be forcing it on overtime, which means whichever team that holds on to the convoy the longest, the furthest distance, that's the team that's gonna win.
Oh my god. This is freaking wild, man. Oh my goodness.
I know, it's freaking insane. But yeah, only one team will move forward. And unfortunately for them, the team that moves the least, that's going to be the team that loses. So the team needs to move the furthest away. It's going to start with Crazy Raccoons defending the point. Rejects will be the one to push the points as far as away as possible.
You guys wanted the distance. This is the farthest we will go. Overtime achieved for Crazy Raccoon. Reject, they are on pace for a reverse sweep, but Crazy Raccoon in the dying stages of that second round are able to just barely force overtime, and we reach the absolute limit. We reach the absolute distance for the grand final.
Wow.
This is a very labored fight, but this is a necessary one if you want to go to the grand final right now and be in a comfortable position to find yourself to be in. But Gnome is going to find Vital, but Vital should have the cocoon to get himself back into the fight. There it is. It's going to be popped on the feed as Reject look to push even more, even farther. How far is the question? As half of that minute has already expired.
Yeah, only 20 seconds left. I think they're just gonna force overtime, but seems like Dobby, seems like Piggy, they're gonna take out Crazy Raccoons right there. And Rejects looking to push even further forward. They're pushing away so far so good. They're standing onto the point together, working as a team. And right now, Crazy Raccoon is the one that needs to come back.
Yeah, the time has expired. Keep in mind, no Doctor Strange. And because of that lack of Doctor Strange, these fights have been absolutely insane. And now the overtime meter is showing up on the top of your screen. That's going to be the deciding factor of when this round will end. When will the push be over? As Rage of Ultron going to be used? Will this be the defense that Crazy Raccoon need if they want to have great positioning, a great advantage? But it looks like Reject will open things up as Dobby takes out high on JT3, will get his foot onto the site, but Piggy has other things to say as Reject look to push, will look to get point number 4, but the fate of both worlds will buy a lot of time. But Piggy, he does have the meteor, but he doesn't use it just yet. But a great block, a great screen from Piggy. But when will he pop that meteor? He is holding, but the stun! Oh my god, J-Mac with 4 members stunned up with the last stand. Galactic Legend going to be used as well, and that's going to be the moment where Piggy uses the ultimate, but it's not going to wipe out anyone as Crazy Raccoon are looking to hold. They're trying their best, but the Freedom Charge is proving to be too much for Reject as Crazy Raccoon falling before Reject's eyes as they look to secure point number 4. But now look at the ultimate overtime meter. It's so damn low. Seunghoon tries his best to stall, but it's not going to be enough.
Now might be a good time to
Yeah, and they're still holding on to it. Already unlocking that second point right here, earning them the 4th point. Rejects. They reject to lose. That's one thing for sure, right?
That is for
they
sure,
reject
yes.
to lose, reject to fall, and they are just continuing on, hanging on the Star-Lord, Seunghoon on the Ultron. Unfortunately, they don't seem to have the answer that they need to push them off the convoy. And that's going to be a big problem because Reject, give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And it seems like that's exactly what they're doing now.
And a mile indeed they will take as Piggy opens things up with a man advantage for Reject. But the Karmic Revival will equalize as the Resurrects will come in as J-Mech finds a pick onto Gnome. And Crazy Raccoon, will that Karmic Revival be the difference maker? I don't think so, because Finale just got a double with the Dance of the Butterfly, but will get traded out by Vital. But still, the man advantage is in favor of Reject, but the Fate of Both Worlds will buy 12 seconds of time unless J-Mech wants to disrupt any sort of invulnerability that is from Crazy Raccoon, but Reject still standing strong, still standing tall. Seunghoon even gonna invest the Rage of Ultron to keep J-Mech alive, and J-Mech is the sole reason why everyone on Crazy Raccoon are able to come back. Great knock, great kidnap onto Gnome, and JT3 will follow things up. Piggy will trade, but still a man advantage, but JT3 goes down. JT3 fell off the map. JT3 is gone for just a few seconds, but does that allow Reject to come back into this map? That might have been a crucial mistake on the side of Crazy Raccoon, but Reject are still holding. This map is not ending anytime soon. We still have Crazy Raccoon's turn on the offense, but this meter will not fall. Rejects stand tall. They will not go. They will not end this round just yet. As Finale is able to scrap. Hyon has the cocoon. Gnome finds a pick, and Reject are pushing.
How are they even holding on to this point?
I don't
That's
know.
the question.
I don't know.
Reject refusing to get off the convoy, but right now Dance of the Butterfly is going to be employed, but Seunghoon with the Rage of Ultron as well. Rejects using it just to gain a little bit of domination onto that lineup, but right now Crazy Raccoon needs to put a stop to this crazy march because this is a lot of distance they have to make up for it later on.
Yeah, this is going to be yeah, it's going to be so difficult, but Gargoyle is able to take out Seunghoon with the Kraken Impact, but Rebirth has the Fate of Both Worlds again and will keep everyone alive for 12 seconds. But Vital is going to be taken away from the fight. Gnome trying to be the hero, being the hero, as Reject look to secure point number 5 here in this overtime. In game number 5 as Gnome punches his way but cannot find anything as Reject have so many resources to work with. Gargoyle and Piggy find 2, and that's point number 5.
good time to stop them.
That is absolutely insane. They refuse to go checked. You gotta wonder how they are not playing like this since the very beginning, but now that they are, they refuse to go down. And this is just an absolute crazy, insane push by Rejects. Gargoyle doing so much work, doing God's work right there. And look at the Magneto as well. Piggy just standing proud on the convoy.
Oh my gosh, Hyon with an advantageous angle with the Galactic Legend, but it's gonna get absorbed by the Magneto on Crazy Raccoon. Actually, no, it's going to be Reject absorbing all of it. As Finale able to find a double, able to find a triple. Finale, the star player of Reject, are looking to push to point number 6. As Crazy Raccoon, no one is alive. These death timers are way longer because it's overtime. And it looks like they're able to do it. Point number 6 goes to Reject. And Crazy Raccoon now in a very, very difficult spot. Can they get to 6? They need to do point number 3 again. And can they do it again is the question with 1 minute on the clock.
Top-notch team.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane coming from Rejects, just pushing the entire 6 point. And all they have to do right now is defend, get Crazy Raccoon off the convoy for just 1 second out of the overtime, and that's it. they win and go to the grand finals. But Crazy Raccoons, they have a chance to come back at this, but it's an almost impossible task, a very hard task which to do the exact same thing as Rejects. Stay on the convoy for the whole duration of the 3 points.
I don't think I cannot say this for any other region, but so far this has been the most insane pro match we have ever seen so far. This is quite literally peak cinema we are witnessing right now. But if Crazy Raccoon are able to make this close, I might lose my damn mind.
I know, this is just crazy, man. If it goes to 6-6, that's gonna be the longest match, the most intense that we have seen today so far. So right now, Rejects, they're looking to defend all from the high ground. They know that if they can hold off Crazy Raccoon just for a little bit, they will be able to win and finally go to the grand finals. But look at what's going on. They're already applying pressure so early into the game.
Vital got an opening pick already onto Gargoyle. Oh my god, Crazy Raccoon come out swinging, guns blazing. And this is bad news for Reject if they want to secure an easy victory, an easy ticket into the grand final. Crazy Raccoon, they have a long road ahead of them. But with that early pick from Vital, that is going to make this a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's going to make it a little bit easier, but with the timer as well, 30 seconds, they got to make sure that Crazy Raccoon does not step onto the ground. Actually, even if they do, they should force the overtime first, and that way, at least Rejects will be able to get one team fight and win the war.
Oh yeah, that is exactly what... Well, actually, J-Mac is trying to just buy a bit of space, but he's going to get taken out by Gargoyle. Gargoyle, he was the man that was getting picked off in the opening seconds of this overtime, but it's all now up to Crazy Raccoon. It's overtime. It's a draw or it's a bust. As Crazy Raccoon, they had the fire in him, but will it go out in a whimmer of smoke? Reject look to complete the reverse sweep. They're already halfway there. Look at this overtime meter. It's going dangerously low. JG3 can't find a pick, can't find anything with the meteor as the freedom charge is going to keep everyone of Reject alive. But Crazy Raccoon, you need to touch the site. You need to go get on there. You need to stay. You cannot move. You cannot falter out of this round just yet. You cannot move. That is the main focus for Crazy Raccoon as they are trying their best to stay alive in this tournament, in this upper bracket, but it doesn't look likely. Reject complete the reverse sweep. They take us to 5, they take us to OT, and they will take themselves to the grand final.
What a play, ending with 6-3 and a reverse comeback as well, proving to everyone why Rejects is the best right now, taking out Crazy Raccoons that has taken out Genji. Oh my goodness, absolute cinema. Absolute cinema, honestly. That was super intense. RC gonna be most definitely confirmed to LAN. We're gonna see them in the LAN events for sure. Definitely very deserving.
Oh my god, look at these numbers though. Holy moly, Gargoyle with a nice amount of eliminations. Piggy and Finale also contributing as well. So much work from both teams. Both teams really played out of their goddamn mind. And
definitely.
And unfortunately, it was Crazy Raccoon that were not able to close things out, and they're going to be sent down to the lower bracket. I cannot take it anymore. And
I mean, they still have a chance to come back from